Hello and welcome to my first ever Warhammer Age of Sigmar review, and it will be of my review of the Chaos Lord on a Karkadrak. It's some kind of like ferocious beast type dinosaur lizard thing. Pretty horrific. I like the look of it, and I really like the look of the Chaos Lord too. Price wise, well, this model comes in the new Slaves to Darkness Start Collecting box set, which I unboxed recently on the channel, along with 5 Chaos Knights and 10 Chaos Warriors. I would go as far as to say that this model would probably cost you £25 separately. I can't see him costing 30. It probably costs the same as like Vandus Hammerhand or the Lord Aquila. They're big knights on big beasts on this similar kind of base, so I'd probably say £25, but I wouldn't say much more than that. And yeah, at the moment you can't get this model separately. You can only get it in the Start Collecting set. Anyway, what I'm going to do is look at the model close up, give you the spare parts, of which there is only one, and then do some size comparisons with some Age of Sigmar models, which I've built specifically for this size comparison. So if we have a look at the model close up, you only really get the 2 weapon options that come with it, which is the Demon Bound Blade and the Hexed Battle Axe. Of course, the Karkadrak has a tearing horn and claws and a battering tail. This is a battering tail. It's got a piece of armor on it. The model is a little bit tricky to put together, you know, to get all the gaps hidden, I suppose. But it does look awesome when complete. It's a little bit kind of smaller than I expected, but still very ferocious and looks incredible. I love this like lizard type thing that he's on. He's got a Sigmarite helmet. Or head, no, head probably actually, in there. And then he's got this massive axe. Kind of reminds me of a Lord Discordant in Age of Sigmar form, and I'll probably be doing a few like 40k comparisons as I go through this journey. I love this huge flowing cape with some holes and things in, and I love the little maggoty type pelt that's on there as well, surrounding his shoulders. The blade is quite nice. He's got his finger articulated, pointing, and his helmet is awesome, kind of like the long lost brother of Ahriman, really, with so many horns, and he's even got these horns on his armor. Very spiky to touch model. There's spikes and chaos symbols and things and skulls everywhere. I do like this massive sheath here, which you can't really see. It's got a fair bit of detail on it to put that blade in. I like the claws. I like this rock or part of the scenic base there. And yeah, apart from a few little issues sort of fixing it together, that's because I'm not used to mounts and I'm not used to these kind of models. I thought it went well. I thought it went together quite well. Not many mold lines. He didn't take me any more than like 20 minutes, half an hour to build. So quite speedy to build the main HQ for this force. So there you go, that's the Chaos Lord mat on the Karkadrak. Let's show you the spare parts, as in this one. And I could actually use this head in 40k in my Chaos Space Marine force. Just chop that plug off there and use it. He's very horny. He's got like 3 horns jutting out the side of his head, but a fair bit of detail there on that face. So yeah, I'll probably be using that in the 40k force at some point. But that's the only spare part you get for him, for this model. Let's do some size comparisons now. So I've built a Chaos Knight already. There he is next to a Chaos Knight. He doesn't dwarf him, but he's definitely much higher. And yeah, bigger than I thought compared to like a Chaos Knight. And then I've got a Chaos Warrior too. Hopefully these size comparisons really help you, you know, from the side. He's yeah, a fair bit bigger than a Chaos Knight charging forward, and yeah, compared to like a normal foot soldier, he does tower higher than a normal foot soldier too. So yeah, definitely he's going to stand out even amongst the knights, which you probably want him to be with. He's much more impressive than just the normal Chaos Lord on the mount, which the horse looks very static and just looks like it's having a rest. These Chaos Knights look amazing with these lances. Fantastic. All of these models in the Start Collecting set look very dynamic and kind of menacing, foreboding. And then the other Age of Sigmar model I've actually got is just this Nighthawk model, if that helps you. You know, towers over them, so if you're facing an army of those, he's going to be much bigger than them too. I always like to do size comparisons with Space Marines. So here's a normal Space Marine, if this helps, and then a Primaris. It feels a bit odd doing this, but there you go. He is definitely same size as a Space Marine, so he's had all of his gene therapy and things, and gene sync. And a Primaris, yeah, Primaris a bit taller, and on the ground he's towers above a Primaris Space Marine. Not that this would ever happen, but it just goes to show you, if you've got a Space Marine or Primaris army, how big this model is compared to them. Yeah, and he is quite a bit of a beast. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of his rules. You'll find them in your brand new Chaos Battle Tomes, Slaves to Darkness Battle Tome, or Codex as I want to call it. He's in the hero section. I'm still getting used to all of the rules, so please bear with me on sort of what's good and what's not so good. He's got his own war scroll, and his stat line reads he's got a movement of 9 inches, save of 3+, bravery of 8, and wounds of 9. Now, compared to the Chaos Lord on a demonic mount, which is, I want to say, quite an old model now, very static looking, this Chaos Lord looks way better in my opinion. The Chaos Lord on a demonic mount does have a better movement speed. It is a bit faster at 10 inches, but does have 1 less wound at 8 and has a worse save of 4+ instead of 3+, but the bravery is still the same. This Chaos Lord actually does have more attacks. Now, points cost wise, the Chaos Lord on a Karkadrak costs 250 points compared to the Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, which costs 170 points. So he is 80 points more expensive. What's he equipped with? Well, he's a single model armed with a Hexed Battle Axe and a Demon-bound Blade. The mount, the Karkadrak, attacks with its tearing horn and claws and its battering tail. And Mark of Chaos, when you select this model to be part of your army, you must give it one of the following Mark of Chaos keywords: Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slaanesh, or Undivided. I'm probably just going to go for Undivided for my one. I'm going to paint it Undivided. I might paint it Wordbearer's colours, to be fair, rather than black. I'm just a bit sick of black, although black does look cool. I've got a black Space Marine chapter, so I want to try and get away from painting even more black. Now, his weapons, he's got the Hexed Battle Axe, which all of his weapons are range 1 inch, but the Battle Axe has 5 attacks, 3+ to hit, 3+ to wound. It doesn't have a rend, but it does have a damage of 2. The Demon Bound Blade has 3 attacks, 3+ to hit, 3+ to wound. Rend is -1 and a damage of D3. The Tearing Horn and Claws has 3 attacks, 4+ to hit, 3+ to wound, and a rend of -1 and a damage of 2. And the Battering Tail has 2 attacks, 4+ to hit, 4+ to wound, no rend, and a damage of 1. So already, to me, it seems like the Hex Battle Axe is where to go, because it's got 5 attacks there and it does 2 damage. Although I wouldn't rule out the Demon Bound Blade with those 3 attacks. Now, essentially, that Hex Battle Axe has 1 less attack than the Cursed Warhammer that the Chaos Lord on a Demonic Mount has, but the same to hit and wound rolls, but the Warhammer has a -1 rend and a damage of 2, the same. So you're getting 1 more attack, but I say a worse rend than the Warhammer. Abilities: Brutish Rampage. Roll a dice for each enemy unit that is within 1 inch of this model after this model makes a charge move. On a 2+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Excellent. So he's just rampaging across into units. Demon Bound. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with a Demon Bound Blade is 6, that attack inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. Excellent. So you're getting the 6s for the hit roll. You're getting 1 mortal wound. Fueled by Carnage. At the end of the combat phase, if any enemy models were slain by wounds inflicted by this model's Hexed Battle Axe in that phase, you can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to this model. Absolutely fantastic. So you're slaying enemy models with that Battle Axe. You can get up to 3 more wounds. Now, he's got 9, so that's, 33% or whatever. A third of his wounds being bumped back up, possibly. Rune Etched Plating. Roll a dice each time you allocate a mortal wound to this model. On a 5+, that mortal wound is negated. You could say a 5+ invulnerable save, so 3+ normal, 5+ invulnerable, I want to say. And then finally, command abilities. You can use this command ability in your hero phase. If you do so, pick one friendly Chaos Knights, Chaos Chariots or Gore Beast Chariots unit wholly within 18 inches of a friendly Slaves to Darkness hero with this command ability. Until your next hero phase, you can reroll charge rolls for that unit and add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by that unit. The same unit cannot benefit from this command ability more than once per turn. That's awesome. That's why you want to be using him with your Chaos Knights, so you can reroll those charge rolls and add 1 to hit rolls. That's immense. You put him with a load of Chaos Knights, which have a 3+ to hit anyway, or 4+ for their lances. That's going to improve their accuracy. Keywords: Chaos, Mortal, Slaves to Darkness, Mark of Chaos, Eye of the Gods, Hero and Chaos Lord. So there you go, that's all the rules for him. I think he's pretty good. I mean, comparing him to like a demonic mount, he's definitely costs more points and has sort of more melee weapons at his disposal and better attacks. He's got the same abilities with the invulnerable save, but he does have some better abilities in terms of the Demon Bound Blade, but he's also got some better abilities because he's got the Demon Bound and the Brutish Rampage. He's got a similar invulnerable save with the Rune Etched Plating as opposed to the Chaos Rune Shield, which is on the Demonic Mount for the Chaos Lord. And he's got the Knights of Chaos command abilities as well. So overall, although he's more expensive by 80 points, he's definitely a lot more flexible. I would have liked to have seen him have 10 wounds, but maybe that's a bit too much in this Age of Sigmar game system. But when you see that Chaos Lords on Manticores have 12, I would have liked to have seen him have the 10. Anyway, what do you guys think of the model and the rules for him? I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to my Slaves to Darkness, Chaos Undivided journey. Can't wait to get Archaon, and I can't wait to get the Varangard and add things like a Sorcerer and bits and bobs like the Fomeroid Crusher and the Ogreoid Myrmidon as well. I'm looking forward to those minis when they release them. Put all of your thoughts and opinions down below as always. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.